So today we are sketching qualitative graphs. So a qualitative graph is a graph that doesn't necessarily have any numbers on it. We rely more on the shape of the graph in order to tell the story. And that's what we have here. So notice my graph here doesn't have any numbers on the axes, but it does have time labeled on the bottom and distance labeled on the y-axis. So here's the scenario we're going to graph. Hal rides his bike from his home for 30 minutes at a fast pace. He stops to rest for 20 minutes and then continues in the same direction at a slower pace for 30 more minutes. Sketch a graph of Hal's distance from home over time. Okay, so we're going to sketch a graph of this, and notice we're not going to put any numbers on here, but just to help me out in terms of sketching this out, I'm going to just mark some intervals down at the bottom for the time, because it looks like this is going to happen over 80 minutes, so I'm just going to sketch out 8 sections. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Just so I can base my sketch off of something. All right. And again, because it's a sketch, this doesn't have to be exact because we're focusing more on the shape. All right. So Hal rides his bike from his home for 30 minutes at a fast pace. So this is our first thing that we're going to sketch. Okay, so this is over the course of 30 minutes, and it's a fast pace. That fast pace tells us this is going to be increasing at a fairly steep line. So here's 0, 10, 20, 30. I'm going to try to make it kind of steep. Let's make it like here. Okay, so that's pretty good. I mean, it doesn't have to be a precise steepness. I just want to make sure this is steeper than when we go slowly, which we will later in the problem. All right, now, after he bikes for 30 minutes at a fast pace, then he stops to rest for 20 minutes. So that's our second interval here. So the fact that he's stopping means that there's going to be a constant interval, meaning he's not going to make any progress. It's just going to be flat for 20 minutes. So 10, 20, it's going to be like something like this. All right. So there's his break, his stop. All right. Now, for the third section, he continues in the same direction at a slower pace for 30 more minutes. So we're continuing, but at a slower pace, which tells us that it's not going to be steep as it was before. So we are going to continue upward because our distance is going to increase, but it's just not going to be as steep as this. So let's make it a little bit flatter. Let's see, 30 minutes, 10, 20, 30. Let's just make it like that. But notice how I made my segment so that it is increasing, but that angle, the steepness of the line, the slope of the line, is not as steep as it was before. All right? So that's the key to sketching qualitative graphs. Make sure you pay attention to whether it's increasing, constant, or in some cases decreasing. And then also pay attention to how steep do you need to make your intervals. If it tells you it's fast, you know it's going to be steep. If it tells you it's slow, you know it's going to be a little flatter. All right. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit that like button. Also subscribe because it really helps us out. But with that being said, good luck on your math, and I will see you next time.